like second most revenue generating industry after oil. So, and public-private partnerships, it comes handy as well, and community participation and sustainable tourism policies. So, what we can learn from this? So, health and wellness tourism promotes healthier lives, right? And it strengthens local economies. It contributes to sustainable development goal number 3, right? And innovation makes wellness tourism more accessible and sustainable. So I'm going to finish my presentation with this sentence. So when we invest in health and wellness tourism, we're not only investing in tourism, we are investing in healthier people, stronger communities, and better future for all. And thank you so much for your attention and time. That's it from my side.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mir Jalal Kudatov. Thank you for the wonderful presentation. And now we come to our last speaker. Our final distinguished speaker is Professor Insinyur Ilyas Masudin from Universitas Muhammadiyah Malang. Before the presentation, I will introduce him. Professor Ilyas Masudin is a distinguished professor of logistics and supply chain at Universitas Muhammadiyah Malang, Indonesia, where he served as the head of the Center for Supply Chain Innovation. He previously served as the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering from 2021 to 2025 and was recognized as an academic leader in technology by LLDT 7 in 2024. A former Australian government scholar, he earned his PhD from RMIT University and his master's degree from Curtin University, Australia. His research focused on sustainable logistics, circular economy, halal supply chains, and supply chain innovation. He is highly productive researcher with an extensive publication record in reputable Scopus and Web of Science Index journals, including publication with leading international publishers such as Elsevier and Springer. Beyond his academic achievement, Professor Masudin is known for his strong research discipline. He consistently dedicates 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. to research and academic writing before beginning his other daily responsibilities. This commitment to scholarly productivity has made him an inspiring figure in research and a prominent contributor to supply chain innovation and sustainability. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Insinyur Ilyas Masudin.
Terima kasih. Good afternoon, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat sore, salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. The statement from moderator that I start writing from 7 to 9 a.m. is not on the book. I never wrote something like that for the moderator. So Pak Prof Yudi maybe make some improvisation here in my biodata there. Yeah, I should present the field of my expert in supply chain actually, but today I present about what I should present, that the UMK, Universitas Muhammadiyah Gresik, appoint me as the guest editor for the Journal of Construction in Developing Countries, which is the journal associated with this conference actually. So your papers submitted in this conference, should be published in that journal actually, if eligible. It means we will contact you to prepare, the full and also the good one of the papers to publish in the journals, in the associated journals. So Prof. Masuro is the chief of editor of the journal. So I stand here representing as the journal, as the guest editors. Amazing. So every expert previously present very good and also useful presentation. So this is the closing one actually. I believe that you have still energy to to finish the conference until the end. And I want to talk about how to publish papers in the journals. I agree with the previous experts, the previous presenter, that kita sekarang in the era of the Scopus, but it's not good for the standardization because the only one standard would be a Scopus. I agree with that. That's why I don't want to ask you to publish in the Scopus index journals, but I only want you to document what you have done in writing, right? I believe everyone here from this morning till now, writing, a lot of writing in your mobile phone, in social media, in WhatsApp, Instagram, any social media. But I want you to make what you have done in writing to be a paper. That's why today I will present about how to make our writing into a paper that will be published. You don't have to publish in the Scopus. Any other indexation other than Scopus. Google Scholars also indexation. Universitas Muhammadiyah Gresik also has repository as well, in this campus as the indexations. But why Scopus? Why Scopus? You know why Scopus? That's why now I want to target our presentation here, how to write the paper into a journals indexed by Scopus. Next, please. Previous slide, please. Previous slide. I always put the symbol of Web of Science and Scopus in every presentation focusing on the publication because this is the two of the indexation, the good one for indexations for international journals. Next, please. So today, I want to present into 4 phases or stages. The first one should be, we need to talk about the foundations. And the second phase or stage should be the code, how to write the papers. The first one should be the most important thing, the phase 1, the foundation, the mindset. How to create any ideas, any phenomena into interesting topic that ready to be written in the papers. The second one should be, we are talking about the rules of engagements, how to mastering the rigid constraint because the paper for the journals indexed by Scopus of Web Science has many rigid constraint and also method here, formal tone and objective mechanism. And also the next stage, we are talking about the anatomy of an article. Article that ready to be published in Scopus index journals has a very specific requirements. Every journal has very rigid requirement for the papers. We are talking about this one, and the last one will be the outlet. This is the most important thing of the stages, the outlet. The ecosystem of the outlet, the journals itself. Next, please. This morning, I'm talking about something that maybe not beyond to the expectation about the pemulung or the collectors. We say the pemulung. Pemulung means someone who pick the waste thing, the rubbish thing, that not useful anymore, and then we are discussing about how to make this simple thing into the journal's language. And then we come with the informal collectors, the informal pickers for the journal language. Jadi saat kita bicara soal pemulung misalnya, kenapa tidak kita package into a journal's language, into informal speakers, informal collectors. That's the idea, That's the idea. The most important thing in writing thing is the freedom of speech. Kebebasan berpendapat, freedom of speech in writing itu amazing kalau menurut saya. For me, kebebasan untuk menulis apa saja, baik itu yang formal or tabu sekalian, itu menjadi sesuatu yang diizinkan. Tidak ada risiko. No risk when you writing something. No risk. Except plagiarism, right? Tidak ada resiko apapun selain plagiasi when you are writing, right? Semua pasti setuju ini. The risk hanya plagiarism. If someone doesn't, agree with your writings about the result of your writing, they should write the challenge into the other publication of writings to challenge your previous writing. That's the risk, the only risk. Resiko terberatnya adalah plagiarisme. Ya, seandainya ada orang yang tidak setuju dengan writing kita, our writing, they should write their own idea to challenge the writing kita. Itu saja sebenarnya. That's why I state previously that freedom of writing is amazing for me. Itulah kenapa saya sangat suka sekali menulis, karena ada kebebasan berpendapat when you are writing things. Jadi hal-hal yang muncul yang jarang dibicarakan, tabu, unik dan seterusnya, itu menjadi sesuatu yang menarik untuk dibuat tulisan. Next please. Saat menulis, saya selalu membagi every writing my paper, I always notice about the sources. Ini yang selalu sering terjadi saat kita menulis. When we are writing a papers, I classify it into 3 sources. The first one is the primary source, the foundation, for the paper. This is peer review journals, dissertation, and thesis. And I never use the second and the third tiers of sources. What is the secondary sources? Textbooks. What is the tertiary sources? Blogspot, short communication, Wikipedia, something like that. We never use that one. We always use the first sources, primary sources, which is the peer review article journals. Yang kita pakai sumber untuk membangkitkan ide, to create or to generate the idea, or to cite previous works, we always use the primary sources. Never use, 1 or 2 times you can use a secondary text, secondary sources, textbooks. But majority of your writings, of your sources, you have to use primary sources. Something like the peer review journals article, dissertation, thesis. Why I put dissertation and thesis there? Because these 2 sources has been past the peer review. Ada seminar proposal, ada seminar hasil. There is defense, something like ujian or examination of the thesis or dissertation. That's why I put these 2 classification into primary sources. Remember that one. To make a good writing, we have to use a good sources, which should be primary sources. You know what I mean? You got it? Next, please. So, Ibu Moderator, please remind me if the time is finished. Next. So, this is the cycle of writing. Nothing instant, nothing happen instant. Tidak ada sesuatu yang instan, Bapak Ibu sekalian. Nothing instant. Never expect that your writing, your first draft of writing, is finished and final and ready to be submitted to the journals. Never think something like that. You need to do some cycles, pre-writing. You make notes, a summary, and then revising, make a draft, and then editing, something like, reverse engineering. Jadi kita cyclekan lagi, setelah diedit kemudian, and then we come back to make it some revising, editing. That's why we need to collaborate sometimes, collaborate with college with native speaker, for example, to make the draft formal, more formal, and also a better. Yeah, this is the cycle of your writing. I sometimes, spend 2 or 3 weeks here before submitting here to make it sure that the paper is ready to go. Otherwise, you will waste your time by submitting raw draft without any editing, any proofreading, and then submit it to the journals. You will waste your time just waiting for rejections. So you have to make it sure that the paper is ready to go. Next, please. I'm starting with the title. This is the most important thing. When you submit a paper to the journals and the editor will read your title, the decision actually is coming this one. When your title is too long, for example, not clear, not concise, so rejection must be made by the editors directly. Yeah, I always use it less than 15 words. Yeah, make it something unique, something interesting, like a bombastic. Bombastic means when you read koran kuning itu, yang biasa dijual di jalan raya itu, when the newspaper agency sell the newspaper, ada pembunuhan dan seterusnya, ada peledakan dan seterusnya, kan menarik itu. It's very interesting for readers. Even the content is not too bombastic. At least the title interests the readers, the editors. I mean. Yeah, this is the abstract actually. Because the conference also require the abstract, this conference as well. So I divide usually into 3 parts of abstract, in the content of the abstract. The first is background. This is the objective of the papers, and then methodology, and also result. Only 3 things. Only 3. Tidak perlu, you don't need to add anything in abstract. Only 3. The objective, the methodology, and also result. Enough. That's it. Next, please. So the paper should be problem solving. Sebuah paper itu seharusnya menyelesaikan sebuah permasalahan yang mencoba try to connect the gap between previous and also the future directions. So that is your paper there, the gap, the integration in simultaneous multi-echelon model, for example, to try to connect the gap between previous works with future solutions. This must be stated in introductions. When you write a paper for these journals, for the Journal of Construction in Developing Countries, which is associated with this conference, then you have to write introductions. What is introduction? Consists of 4 parts, 4 things. I usually make 4 paragraphs of introduction only 4 paragraphs, discussing about the declaration of the field, and then summarizing previous studies, and then make gap. Fill the gap. When you're discussing previous study in the second paragraph of the introduction, and then you can state the gap of the paper, of the research, of your research, and make some objective in the final paragraph of introduction. The hardest part of the paper is making the introductions. But Prof. Yudi tadi say that we can use AI also to make it smooth, to make it focus on your paper. Yes, you can do it actually. But again, your mastermind should be you. Mastermind should be you. Next, please. And the last part of the paper, before conclusion, is the discussion. As the guest editor of the conference, I'm in the Journal of Construction in Developing Country, which is associated with this conference. Of course, the discussion should be the main reason for acceptance. bagian yang paling penting, the most important thing on the paper, is the discussion. Why? Because in this discussion, you can elaborate everything you found and also connect it with the gap. So the editor will look through the discussion section to make decision usually. This is good or not? The paper is worth or not from the discussion. Next, please. So this is the conclusion, the easiest one, because we have to restate the importance, summarize, and also suggest for future direction. Next, please. So about the theme, tema or what is it? Topic. The trend topic should be included in the 4 topic there. Yeah, according to me, there are 4 hot issues in the world that can be drive, that can be shape your future, including in your research or in your paper. The first one should be food system. We agree that the population in the world is growing. It means food will be the issue sexy in the next papers, for example. Yeah. And then the second one should be energy transition. We agree that the energy is the global issue with the issue of war, global politics, something like that affect the energy. So the topic, the issue about energy and connected with your field will be very interesting issue. And also about digital technology transformation. This is also the hot or sexiest issue currently that you can be the foundation to make your paper. And the last one about environment and climate change. Everyone, all speakers today discuss about these 4 issue actually, right? Iya kan? Jadi 4 isu inilah yang akan mewarnai hampir semua journals yang ada di masa yang akan datang. These 4 issue will color all the journals in the future, yeah, including in your future works. Next, please. Nah, this is about the role of editor, author, and reviewer. Everyone should understand the role of each stakeholders when you're publishing papers. Author, what is the responsible of author? What is the responsible of editor and also the reviewers? Everyone has the roles. You have to understand why papers are reviewing too long. Yeah. Maybe the reviewers, maybe about the editors, maybe about your paper itself, maybe about the author's roles. You have to understand about these roles. Next, please. Okay, when you are targeting a journals, of course, the first consideration should be the indexations. Is the journal you targeting to is indexed by Scopus or Web of Science or anything else? Yeah. Of course, your paper should be relevant with the topics. What is the topic about? Yeah. Most journals now targeting to sustainability, emission, yeah, climate change, environmental, something like that. What is the targeting scopes? And also the financial matters. The last one about the APC. Yeah. Is it free? Is it open access? Sometimes journal that have a role in open access, the author should pay the APC. It's very expensive. I agree that, you know, this is a big business, I think. Yeah, business, yeah. It's a lot of money. But there are so many journals also has a free publications. Why not targeting for free one? So please choose, yeah, the journals that suitable with you, which one should be paid, which one should should be free and something like, yeah, discount, waive, something like that. Next, please. Yeah, the future of drafting. This is the most important thing. AI now changed everything. I never imagined previously that the progressing of AI is very amazing, even replacing every activity, human activity, including in making a paper. But remember that you are the mastermind. You have to design everything, and then, of course, AI can help you to reach the goals. But the mastermind should be you, everything. Next, please. Yeah. Thank you very much for your kind staying here. And I'm waiting for your papers because I have to publish it, yeah, from the conference into the journal that I said previously, Journal of Construction in Developing Countries, which is associated with this conference. Yeah. I know that the journal connected with the construction field, but of course you can relate your field with the construction, management in construction, yeah. Management project management, something like that, in accounting, something like that. So I'm waiting, and good luck for your future in drafting papers.
Thank you so much, Prof. Ilyas. Okay, we have now heard from all speakers of this panel session. Now we come to the Q&A session. I'd like to invite the participants on site and also online to ask questions to the speakers. And for the question, if you have question, please raise your hand, or you can type in the chat box. Briefly introduce yourself and to whom you address the question. Okay, we have one person asking question. Okay, let me come to you. It's okay, this is for speaker.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih. Thank you very much for the chance. My question will be addressed to Prof. Yudi. So my question is, in your presentations, you point out that traditional TBLT and in EFL and ESL context is often, let me emphasize this, oriented toward the native speaker cultural norms. And I couldn't agree more about this. I agree 100% about this. Because we have also I and several colleagues also conduct research regarding negotiating linguistic authority in Gen AI-assisted EFL writing. And one of the aspects is cultural identity and emotional labor in Indonesia. So sometimes when we are asking ChatGPT or any AI, for example, we say try to convert this word of gotong royong, for example, and then ChatGPT will convert this with what we call this uncompensated communal labor. Yeah, I think it's not inappropriate system semantically. So we found out that in our research that there are sometimes AI or given response to what we are expected is not inappropriate in our cultural identity. Yeah. So what we in our research, we call it this as algorithmic native speakers, algorithmic native speakerism. Yeah, because ChatGPT or any AI also always translate or converse the words or the sentence regards to the what we call Western norms, yeah, in inner circle like British, American, or Australia. Yeah, they sometimes not consider our identity, our cultural identity, in translating the word that you expected ChatGPT to confirm. So my question is, how would your model that you are explaining in this your presentation can can handle this regarding this cultural identity? So students in nurse, for example, can get the converse translated that they intend to receive the right according to our cultural identity. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you for the question, Dr. Neil. I think Pofyudi, you may answer the question directly.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Nirwanto, for these impressive questions. Okay, number one, I would like to highlight first, actually when we belong to Rhode Ellis, task-based language teaching, one weaknesses of the concept of task-based language teaching is missing the real-life context. And actually the real-life context can reflect to the identity, local cultural identity. That is what I'm saying in my PPT. In EFL teaching and learning, the real-life concept is always dominated by pedagogical practice, meaning based on school or campus curriculum. But the real-life English in our local, that the student can understand the real society, they can address the bullying issue, they can address the anything real in their life is not addressed yet. That is in EFL. So when I come up to ESP program, the concept of real life become what it is, vivid, become more understandable. We can learn from how nurse learning nursing, how they cure the patient, how they talk to the family of the patient appropriately. And this one will expand the whole theory of TBLT. So TBLT can be more lively implemented in the ESP. So from ESP, we can re-transform again the whole concept of TBLT. Actually, the novelty is very high from TBLT and also CLIL and AI feedback. So we have a real, activities talking about nursing content, ability to have nursing or professional ability to communicate, to give the correct medicine pills to the patient, to communicate with the doctor, and it should be reflected again to our EFL teaching and learning. So that's why I try to propose from the ESP, because it will transform the concept of all TBLT proposed by Rhode Ellis in 2003. I think the concept of cultural identity is already reflected in the real life task, because Rhode Ellis highlight that TBLT should reflect the student real life. And the concept of real life here in our schools, in surrounding school, is rarely implemented. They only learn in the classroom. They cannot use their English for addressing civil issue, for society's needs. I do not know. That's why we need a model from here for EFL. But for ESP, I think it's already done, and it will be a model, a good model for the development of task-based language teaching, real task-based. In agriculture, for example, it's quite real. We are planting the rice and also learn how to grow the rice, how to harvest. That is real, right? We have to get a good concept for our EFL teaching. That is what I'm proposing. Okay, anyhow, thank you for the question. Okay.
Thank you so much, Prof. Yudi. Do we have any other questions? Okay, we have one person asking question there at the back side.
Okay, thank you for the time given. Okay, my name is Vicky, and I think I have two questions coming to my mind. It is, should be addressed to Prof. Ilyas. Just simple questions. First is about your passion. If I'm not mistaken, that you have written more than 100 Scopus papers, if I'm not mistaken. And then my question is so simple. How do you motivate yourself to always produce such, such valuable pieces? And the second one, I'm a bit intriguing with your categorization. For the primary source, or you wrote for the premier one, you didn't categorize book, right? Okay, because your reason is based on the peer review process, right? And what about the book of high caliber? Transformed from dissertation and then being produced as a book, let's say, published by Brill or Oxford, etc. I do not know what the categorization, into that one, because if let's say that you only focus on the journal articles, yes, that's fine. But we have to pay more respect to the authority of the book writers, because there are sort of hierarchy. If we put into general equilibrium, I think that's not fair, I think. So, okay, thank you.
Thank you, Pak Vicky. Okay.
How to keep motivated, in writing. Actually, I don't really care which indexation will be index my writing, actually. Not only Scopus, there are so many indexations. But how to record my works is the more important than indexation itself, actually. We need to record our works that can be used, can be remembered by everyone later. Even we pass already, we finish already. I mean, our life we finish already. We need to make it, in Islam ada amal jariah, mas, amal jariah. And I believe that writing is the good thing. Writing is the good thing, sesuatu yang baik. Sesuatu yang baik itu kalau ditinggalkan dan dimanfaatkan orang lain, itu akan terus mengalir pahalanya. Sampai kapanpun, even we finish. Meskipun kita meninggal. That's the most thing that keep me motivated to do something good. I don't have any money to amal jariah, to sodakoh, something like that. But I have a skill to write. That's what I have. Itulah kenapa I keep motivated to writing, especially because Scopus is the majority index. I mean, the most influential. So many journals under Scopus. That's why Scopus should be the influential indexation that impact broader than the other indexation. That's why Scopus. And also, I keep motivation in writing why this year should be better than last year. In numbers, When this year I can produce writing 10 papers this year, next year you should better than 10, should be 11. Should then the next year later, and then should be 13. Orang Muslim itu, tahun ini itu harus lebih baik dari tahun kemarin. Tahun depan must be better than this year. Otherwise kita akan menjadi orang yang rugi. Everything return back to our religious. That's make me motivated. Yeah. Mumpung saya masih sehat, bisa. The first question. The second question. What is the second question? Oh yeah. The books that converted from dissertation. Yes, I agree with you that the book can be included in the, premier sources. Yeah. But we don't know that the book is converted from the dissertation sometimes, right? In the book, there is no notification there that this book is converted from this dissertation. That's the problem actually. If we understand that this book is converted from dissertation, of course, it must be included in the first tier, the premier source, because already passed the review, The focus on the dissertation itself, not the book. Everyone can make the book, Mas. Pak, everyone can make the book without any review, You can come to Gramedia, Togamas, millions book there, and who review there? There is no review there. That's why I prefer use the premier sources. Of course, if we need, in our paper, if we need some definition, something like theory of planned behavior, for example, and we need to look back to the book, because 20, 30 years ago, we don't have any journals, articles. There is only books. Of course, we are allowed to use the definition. But the current situation, the current research, of course, in the journal articles. So the point is in the peer review processes. I think it's enough.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prof. Ilyas. Okay, Pak Fikri, you have more questions?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, maybe first to Prof. Who is that? Muhammad Rifani Bustami, okay? Okay, can you hear my voice, Prof? Okay, good, okay. I have a question pertaining to your idea of Tayyib, right? Okay, can you expand the concept of Tayyib, beyond food and etc.? Because normally, Tayyib is associated with the halal one, and it is restricted to only for food and consumption, right? Maybe can you expand beyond that realm? Okay, and for Prof, okay. Now my question goes to, who is that from Uzbek?
Mr. Mirjalol.
Mr.
Mirjalol.
Okay, I carry it. Okay, sorry. Okay, it is my shortcoming. Okay. Or should we stop first? Adhan, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I think we have to pause for a while for the azan.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Pak Vicky, you can continue your question.
Okay.
Make it quick, please.
Yes, inshallah will be short. Okay, to Mr. Mir Jalal. Okay, I'm quite interesting, with your topic. Again, if it is not mistaken, it's about well-being and healthy tourism, right? Correct, right? Okay. Okay, let's say, meaning that, to do tourism, to tour, to travel can make ourselves is happier or healthier. Correct, right? Okay. Okay. For the folks or the ordinary people, right? They don't have fun to fund themselves to travel, right? So what is your opinion, pertaining to that one? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for the question. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I also mentioned in the challenge problem that wellness tourism is very expensive. That's why high cost makes it less affordable for many travelers. But as we know, there are three types of the tourism. We have inbound tourism, we have outbound tourism, and we have domestic tourism. So for those who have a limited budget, it is highly recommended for them to go within the country, right? I'm sure that Indonesia is very rich with the wellness destinations, right? If they can't afford to go somewhere out of the country, they can go somewhere nearby, right? I think that's simple as that. But unfortunately, yeah, wellness tourism requires a lot of funding. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mir Jalal. Now I'd like to give the opportunity for Prof. Ifani to answer the question. Sorry, Prof. Ifani, we still cannot hear your voice clearly. The committee, please, the operator. Prof. Ifani, can you unmute your audio, please? Because we cannot hear you clearly.
I have.
Okay.
I have.
Okay, Prof. Ifani, you may answer the question from Pak Vicky.
Can you hear me now?
It's about Toyib.
Can you hear me?
Oh, Pak Vicky, can you repeat your question again?
Yeah, no. Can you hear my voice? Can you hear my voice? Can you hear my voice?
Okay, Prof. Okay, let me repeat my question just simply. Okay.
It's okay.
Could you? What is that?
Can you hear my voice? Can you hear my voice?
Oh.
Can you hear my voice?
We can hear you clearly, Prof.
Okay. You don't have to repeat. All right. I was just asking that. Now I know your question just now. Thank you. I will respond to your question now.
Is he listening?
Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. I will answer your question. Right.
Okay, Prof. Since you discussed about the halal tayyiban, right? Is it correct? Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can hear you. I will respond
My
to
question
your response.
is, could you extend your discussion pertaining to the tayyiban conception, okay, beyond the realm of food and consumption? Is there
Yes,
any
yeah.
category for being tayyib
Sure.
beyond food and consumption?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
I will answer your question now. Thank you so much. Toyib exists in almost all aspects of our life, right? If you say publication, for instance, right? Publication, the pricing is the pricing Toyib or not? If you want to publish in Scopus Journal, is the pricing exorbitant, mahal banget itu bukan toyib. If it's very expensive, it's not toyib. Toyib means good. Anything that is good, that is toyib. So we can talk about fairness being toyib. We can talk about pricing being toyib. We can talk about hygiene being toyib. We can talk about workload being toyib. We can talk about the parking system being toyib or not. We can talk about the road system. Is it being fair to the motorcyclists and the cars and the pedestrian? People who walk, people who drive the car, people who are on sepeda motor. Are they toyib? So any aspect of life can be measured by toyib. So anything that is good is toyib. So if you look at company, the purchasing, is it toyib? The distribution, is it toyib? The treatment of human resource, is it toyib? Toyib means good. Toyib means socially responsible. That is toyib. So it extends to all aspects of life. So for instance, if I want to publish a journal in the journal, the pricing is so high, that is not toyib. If I want to read a journal, you have to pay a high price to read a journal, that is not toyib. Toyib means good, wholesome, ethical. That's also toyib. Right? Halal means permissible, diperbolehkan. Toyib means good. Right? Bukan abang toyib belum pulang lagi, bukan itu. Did I explain it well? Do you understand what I'm saying now? Is that okay?
Okay. Is there any more explanation, Prof. Ifani?
That's why I'm asking, is that clear enough? Is that good enough? An explanation? Yeah. So, for instance, you compare, the UI students are demonstrating in Bundaran HI, right? They're asking for a lot of toyib matters from the government, right? Are you being toyib for the salary of the lecturers, gaji dosen, honor kepada guru-guru? Is the payment toyib or is not toyib? Is it adil atau tidak adil? Adil itu toyib. Apa saja yang baik itu toyib. Gitu.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Prof. Ifani.
Okay.
Do we have another question? Okay, one last question. All right. One last question, please, Bu Iska, Ms. Iska. The last question from Ms. Iska. To whom you address the question, please?
Yes, thank you very much, Ms. Paulina. Actually, I do have questions to all of our panelists today. Is that okay?
To all panelists,
To
that
all
is
panelists,
okay.
yes, because everything is very interesting for me today. So I do have several questions in my mind. Probably the first one is for Professor Rifani. So Professor, I was once helping a friend doing his dissertation on product that is halal and toyiban, and I understand from like his dissertation that halal and toyiban doesn't mean only from the ingredients and from the result products, but also from the process itself. So my question is, how can we as the consumer make sure that the thing that we buy is actually halal and toyiban without knowing the process, because the process can be very, very long. Like for example, when we buy fish in the fish market, we don't have the process from the fish got gathered from by the fishermen, and then how it is delivered, how it is distributed to the market. So how can we as consumer can make sure of ourselves that we are buying products that are halal and toyiban? That's for Professor Rifani. And then the second one,
I think, sorry, Ms. Kriska, to interrupt. I think we can let Prof. Ifani to answer first.
Oh, yeah,
Is
sure,
that
sure.
okay?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Prof. Ifani, you are welcome to answer the question first.
Thank you. That's a very important question you asked. Extremely important question and very relevant to today's world. The answer to your question A simple answer would be no. We do not know because there is no certification of TOEIC that we have established in many of our parts of our businesses, parts of the industry. We do not have a TOEIC certification, including, for instance, chickens that we buy, right? We cage the chicken, right? Put in a sangkar yang kecil sekali. Masuk, we put it on a motorbike, transport it on a truck. They're all stressed out, right? That is right. The way we take care of the chickens, that's not TOEIC. If we take care of the chicken in a healthy way, in a humane way, dengan apa nama sifat rahim dan rahman, that is TOEIC. Right? So answer to your question, we do not have that TOEIC. But this is the important point for us, for the Muslim world. If we establish penjagaan ayam yang TOEIC, the TOEIC way of taking care of chicken, for instance, we can have that certification and we can say, look, there is TOEIC chicken and there's a non-TOEIC chicken also, right? Not just halal, TOEIC chicken. TOEIC, in a way, we take care of the chicken. And I, as a person who breeds chicken, for instance, I can get the TOEIC certification from Universitas Muhammadiyah Gresik. Kan? Universitas Muhammadiyah Gresik memberi sertifikasi TOEIC penjagaan ayam gitu, membelah ayam gitu. So think about that, right? But UMG bisa kerjasama dengan UMM bisa kerjasama dengan UMA bisa kerjasama dengan UMAM bisa kerjasama dengan USN. Kemudian kita bangunkan satu sertifikasi, certificate, and then we will work with the Uzbek friends, right? Let's come up with Muslim certification of TOEIC chicken carrying. Right? What does Rasulullah teach us? What does Rasulullah teach us about pricing? What does Rasulullah teach us about transaction? In transaction, we must tell not just the good, we must also tell the bad. That's what Sayyidina Umar said, that's what Rasulullah said. Two persons in transaction must tell the total truth about the product. That's TOEIC marketing. But we do not have TOEIC marketing certification. Imagine business Faculty of Business in Universitas Muhammadiyah Gresik come up with that certification and patent it, just to use Professor Ilyas' concept, patent it together with UMG, all the Muhammadiyah come together and patent it. Ini luar biasa jadinya, bisa merevolusi industri ayam gitu lah. Begitu. So that's my quick response to you. Thank you so much. Very important question. Very intelligent question.
Thank you so much, Prof. Ifani. I'm so sorry for Mrs. Iska, due to the limited time. I think I have to limit your question.
Okay.
Yes, I think I can give you one more question.
One more question. Okay.
Yes, but make it very quick.
Yes, so then if I still have only one more chance, then probably I would address this to Professor Ilyas, probably. So Professor, as a, well, I'm currently a student of doctorate program. And yes, writing for journal is always big challenges, especially for me, right? And then, well, you already gave the tips like earlier on how to motivate yourself to write every single day. You have to be better every single day and stuff like that. But like I want to ask for your personal opinion, actually. Right now, we are having this big issue on the use of AI in writing articles, right? So I want to know, like, your own personal opinion on to what extent we can use AI, actually, to to help us, to assist us in writing our articles to be submitted to the journal, and to what extent the editors or the reviewer will see this as a process. Thank you very much, Professor.
Yeah, thank you. Very interesting. AI. According to my opinion, yeah, AI will help you very much in every single activity, including writing paper draft. Yeah. But again, AI can do human things, something like related with innovation, improvisation, and also the critical thinking. critical thinking. The critical thinking can only be gotten from the reading, I think. Yeah. Reading articles. More reading, you will be inspired more. Yeah. But AI can help you to, to support you with the sources, I think. Yeah. When you have limited time to how to get the sources to back up our idea, of course, AI can help you. So again, AI only just a tool to help you, to boost your time. Yeah. And then the other question is about how the journal can, can detect or memaklumi, or in which extent the journal can allow author use AI. Until now, as I know, I already published in many journals, many publishers. There is no single journals have a tool to detect the AI, because AI cannot be detected accurately. Trust me, when you write down by yourself in Word, in Microsoft Word, and then try to test with the AI detector, you will be judged using AI as well. That's why there is no any detector, valid detector using AI. Usually, I will use a moderate action when using AI to help my writing by write down the subsection in the end of the paper, stating that while drafting the paper, I am helped. I use AI to help or to boost my writing in grammar correction, in smoothing paragraph, something like that. Kita harus jujur, we have to be honest, that we are using AI to help our writing. Of course that we can state it. Later maybe I can show you how to write it in the paper, in the journal article. It's very important because when writing, doing research and writing, we have to be honest. Give credit everyone, every tool that we are using. Okay, yeah, I can show you here. I have a link to check how to use AI and put it in our article. Yeah, and it is allowed by the journals. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Thank you, Prof. Ilyas. And I'm so sorry for other participants who have questions. Due to the limited time, now I have to end the session. Ladies and gentlemen, now we come to our final, the end of our panel discussion. And I'm really thank you for all speakers, Prof. Ilyas, Prof. Yudi, Prof. Ivani, and also Dr. Mir Jalal for the wonderful insight of the presentation. And I would like to express our sincere appreciation for sharing your ideas, expertise, and also experience with us. I would like to also thank to all participants who come today, both on-site and also offline. Thank you for your participation, and thank you so much. And please, the last, give applause to all the speakers. And it's been my pleasure to moderate the session, and I will return the session to Ms. Rizka as the MC. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Please give a big round of applause again to all four of our second panelists and to our moderator, Ms. Paulina. Thank you very much. We would like now to present the certificates and souvenirs to our panelists. I invite Professor Yudi, Professor Ilyas, and Dr. Mirjalol to come forward, as well as the Vice Rector 3 of Universitas Muhammadiyah Gresik, Dr. Harunur Roshid, to present the certificate. I would like to invite Miss Paulina to come to the stage to accept the certificate for being our wonderful moderator today. Please give a big round of applause for our panelists. And we would also like to present the e-certificate to Professor Rifani Bustami. Please kindly accept our gratitude. Thank you very much, Professor Rifani, for your time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of our second panel discussion. Let us once again thank all four of our panelists and our moderator, Ms. Paulina. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of today's main session. Thank you very much for your energy, your engagement, and your presence throughout the day, both here in the hall, Sang Pencerah, and also on Zoom meeting. Before we conclude our session today, I would like to remind you that tomorrow, Friday, 21st August 2026, we will continue with our parallel session, which will start at 7:30 in the morning across 8 breakout rooms, followed by our closing ceremony. You may check the information given on the WhatsApp group for your room assignment. Please kindly inform the committee if you need any further assistance. Well, ladies and gentlemen, to close today's proceeding, let us recite Hamdalah together. Alhamdulillah. Thank you forward, and we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.